Thank you so much. Carol Master, Tim Stanovic, live here at Bloomberg headquarters in New York City. Waste Management, it's the top U.S. garbage hauler. It is one of the Bloomberg 50 companies to watch this year, identified by our Bloomberg intelligence team who did the research, identifying this company as one of the firms with a catalyst in 2025. The $91 billion market cap company made a $7 billion acquisition of Stericycle. That was last year. Shares of the company are right now up about 13% year to date. So let's get into it, because lucky for us, we have Bloomberg News senior editor Nina Trentman, along with Waste Management CFO Devina Rankin, who joins us from the company's headquarters in Houston, Texas. Devina, so great to have you here. Let's just quickly start with the macro. President Trump just talking about auto tariffs may come in early April. The macro, the news from Washington, the global environment, the U.S. environment. Tell us how it could impact your business.
Sure, and happy to be here with you. You know, when we think about WM, we really think about a resilient organization that performs well in any economic environment and under any administration, and we don't expect this one to be any different. We're optimistic as a largely North American company, that with the current administration being really bullish on growing the U.S. economy, that we'll continue to do well, and we're well positioned to serve what's coming next. We have our eye on things like tariffs, interest rates, the workforce, just like everyone else does, but we are really optimistic that we're well positioned to continue to grow and execute upon our strategic priorities in the year ahead.
Devina, you mentioned tariffs. Can you walk us through where you could see a potential impact on the business?
You know, we really are focused on two places, one being our trucks, and there are inputs from renewable energy production equipment that we also source from other markets. And the other place for us really would be about the commodities that we sell. We sell recycling recycled commodities, and some of that goes across U.S. borders. And so if there's restrictions on our ability to move that product outside of the U.S., we could see some restrictions and limitations that could have short-term disruption. But what I have to tell you is, when we look back at the strength of this business and how we were able to move product during the COVID era, it really does speak to our ability to move product even domestically if there's short-term disruption.
Devina, I'm wondering if there's anything that has come from Washington yet, that's come from the White House, that has led you to change your supply chain, led you to make changes when it comes to commodities, led you to make changes to your business as a result of policies or proposed policies, or what you think could come from the White House?
You know, I think about that in two ways. One being the renewable natural gas business. WM has made a very public investment in our sustainability growth, and we're investing about $3 billion of capital over about a 5-year period in sustainability growth investments in both recycling and renewable natural gas. On the renewable natural gas front, it really could come down to EPA mandates and decisions that could impact the value of the RINs that we sell out of that business. That being said, the returns on these investments are really strong. They're 3-year payback periods, and so we don't expect any disruption to the quality of this investment, and we see demand from customers being strong enough to make this business as resilient as our core through the administration decision-making processes. The other place is interest rates, and you mentioned the Stericycle acquisition. We closed on that in November. What I'm really excited about is we financed that transaction at a great time. I just heard you speaking about...
That must feel good.
It feels wonderful. Yeah, our all-in borrowing costs are currently hovering just north of 4% for the total enterprise. So we're in a great position.
Devina, one thing to follow up on this, talk to us a little bit about what's driving costs for you. We saw higher inflation readings this week, and so I'm wondering, how are you seeing that in your business?
Yeah, it's another great question. And what I would tell you is we are a human capital intensive business. At WM, we're more than 60,000 strong. And so labor inflation is certainly the place that we watch the most. And we continue to expect labor inflation will be in the 4 to 5% range. We had planned for that coming into 2025. In addition to thinking about labor inflation, we work really hard to ensure that we're more and more efficient every day. So our cost to serve is not just about cost inflation, it's about our ability to drive automation and efficiency across work streams.
One of the things I wanted to ask you about the acquisition, just going back there, and you guys have talked about increased synergies of $250 million that could be realized in 3 years. Some are concerned that there isn't that much overlap and that those synergies will be tough to realize. What could you give us or tell us in terms of the progress you have made on that or expect to?
For us, we're really optimistic about realizing that $250 million over the 3-year period. It's in 3 buckets. 1 is internalization, 2 is operating effectiveness and efficiency, and 3 is back office or SG&A. The place that we're most bullish is in the back office and SG&A part of the cost equation. For Stericycle today, they're running at SG&A as a percentage of revenue of over 24%. WM is approaching 9%. There's a lot of headroom between those 2 numbers, and we know that we're going to be able to move the dial on that pretty effectively over the next 3 years.
To follow up on that, you mentioned being happy with the financing you did for the Stericycle acquisition a few months ago. What about M&A moving forward? Are there more opportunities for M&A for waste management?
There certainly are. We are a roll-up. That really is the roots of WM, and we invest $100 to $200 million a year on tuck-in acquisitions. Larger scale strategic M&A is really facts and circumstances driven, but we are committed to always having the balance sheet that is needed in order to be able to execute on the right deal at the right time. So in 2025, we'll focus on returning our leverage to where we need it to be to give us strategic flexibility in the future. Right now, we're focused on the organic growth story at WM. Organic growth of double digits percentage increases in EBITDA is just fantastic in this kind of an economy. We've done that now we expect to do it for 2 consecutive years, and we're going to focus on building out those sustainability businesses and integrating the Stericycle acquisition. So I don't expect any transformational M&A in the year ahead because we've got our plate full in terms of serving those 3 things.
You mentioned the economy, Devina. Just looking at your business, you're carting a lot of waste from A to B. What does the waste that you're transporting tell you about the state of the U.S. economy?
We look at the state of the economy really in a couple of places. We can think about our collection business, so where we use our trucks to go pick up waste from the customers, where they're generating it. We pick up homes, we pick up small and medium businesses, and then we pick up large scale multi-location companies as well. What I would tell you that we have seen is small and medium business and the consumer are thriving, and they're continuing to pursue, good, strong economic growth and contribute to the health of the economy. Where we've seen a little bit of a lag in that is in the industrial economy. So we have seen a mild reduction in industrial revenue in the collection part of our business, and we have our eye on that for the year ahead.
Hey, Devina, one of the things we talked about tariffs and, other policies coming out of Washington, but in the newsletter, the CFO briefing newsletter, which comes out on Sunday, and you are featured in it, one of the things that you highlight and think about is population growth being a longtime driver for your business. So how concerned are you about changes to immigration under President Trump and how that plays into it?
What I would say there is that we are a great business that is resilient in any economic environment. And while population growth is certainly a contributor to volume, what we are proud of is that our earnings growth long term, and we've always targeted a 5 to 7% organic growth in EBITDA on an annual basis. And we've exceeded that target over the last 5 years. We think that that comes from strong execution, from pricing discipline, operating excellence, automation of the business where we can, and ensuring that we are customer-centric and people-centric. And those things have created strong success even in the tough days of a
Right.
COVID environment, and it speaks to the resilience of our business model, and we expect that to continue.
Okay, only because we ask everybody, and we've only got about 30 seconds. AI, how does that play into your business? Does it? Just real quickly.
Yeah, certainly. We've got great things happening across the board, whether it's how we engage with our customers through chatbots, whether it's how we code. But the more exciting parts are the optical sorters within our recycling facilities. It's amazing what we've been able to do to automate that part of the business. And so we're going to continue to focus on using technology to be a better operator and provide better solutions for our customers.
Well, so glad to get some time with you, Nina. Thank you. Not Nina, Devina, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Devina, of course, Rankin, she's the CFO of Waste Management, joining us there from Houston, which is where, of course, they are based. And, of course, our own Bloomberg News senior editor, Nina Trentman. Do be sure to check out the Bloomberg CFO Briefing newsletter. You can find it at bloomberg.com/CFO/briefing, and also find it on the Bloomberg.